This following the minimum wage negotiations between the federal government, the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC), which led to an industrial action on June 3rd and was suspended on June 4th. Nigerians have expressed diverse reactions. KAFTAN TV correspondent Victoria Ayorinde brings you more details on this report.
After weeks of deadlock in the negotiations between the federal government, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress regarding the minimum wage, tensions reached a boiling point. The NLC and TUC initiated an indefinite strike on June 3rd, demanding a review of the existing minimum wage of 30,000 naira. Initially proposing 615,000 naira, Labour eventually reversed its demands to 494,000 naira. However, the government offers of 48,000 naira and later 60,000 naira were rejected by the unions, leading to the strike action. Following the suspension of the strike, negotiations resumed, with the government proposing a reversed minimum wage of 62,000 naira, which was also rejected by Labour. Eventually, Labour lowered its demand to 250,000 naira, signaling a willingness to engage in further talks.
I feel like the federal government are to sit with the state government and come up with something. If the federal government they have the power and the capacity to be able to pay public servants 100,000 and above. They have the money, and if the state government are not aligning with this thought, I learned that from the NGF forum, Nigeria Governors Forum, they came up with a 62,000 naira. And from the FAAC they are giving them, I feel they should be able to come up with something more than that. So peradventure there are governors that cannot afford to pay the 100,000 the federal government should be paying, in my opinion, as a Nigerian. I feel like they should work out something within the state governors. A state governor that is not generating so much could pay the 62,000. I'm not sure that the NLC and the TUC are being realistic if they're asking the federal government to pay 50. If it's a negotiation tactics, then it is welcome.
The minimum wage saga has generated diverse reactions from Nigerians. Some advocate for a realistic approach, urging the government to consider adjusting the minimum wage to reflect economic realities. Others express solidarity with the labor unions, emphasizing the need for higher wages to improve workers' standard of living.
Government is too small for them. It's too small. It's better one person carry you like 500 or 1 million the salary. But if you calculate how much the Senate carry,
wherever that labor workers, they are working for the past like 35 years. They spend all their life working for our countries. For that, political leaders, they are sometimes that can lead us like 8 years, 16 years, most of them. But the money that are earning from this time, they are too much for them. They deserve to be paid more than 250,000.
Conversely, there are voices critical of the frequent strikes, citing their adverse effects on the populace and the economy. Amidst these discussions, questions have been raised about the government's fiscal priorities and expenditure.
They should try as much as possible to be directing it to the government, because the citizens, we the masses, or we the proletarians, we the proletarians are not the one that is causing it. So everything that the strike, or everything that they are about is to strike, like our water, our electricity, and so on, they need to make sure that they direct it into the government. Because if they said like they are going to like cut off the lights, or they are the water and so on, I think they are directing the strike to the masses.
Ask me, it's not too necessary, because this has to do with a crop of people being paid by the federal government. It really doesn't affect the whole Nigerians. Okay, rather what I would suggest is the NLC should please take it up, like either fighting for the reduction of cost in the market. You understand, so that the food as the case may be, will not, like, the inflations will not affect the common Nigerians.
As negotiations continue, the minimum wage issue remains a focal point of contention. The outcome of these deliberations will have significant implications for Nigerian workers and the nation's socio-economic landscape.